Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? How many times you have heard this? When someone tell you, how are you? And you answer, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Who told you that you can use just this? There are lots of phrases that we can use instead of how are you for asking question or giving the answer I'm fine, thank you, and you. So today we want to learn the new phrases that we can use for greeting. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's start with the question how are you? There are many different ways to say how are you. As you can see here, how is it going? Or how are you doing? How is it going? How are you doing? How are you? Instead of saying how are you, you can say how is it going? How are you doing? How are you going? It's a mixed sentence from these two questions. How is it going and how are you doing? This question is not common in UK and US, but in Australia they always say, how are you going? Now let's talk about these two sentences or questions as you can see here. You okay? You're right? These are very common and usual for asking how are you. When you say you okay, you're right, it means that hello, how are you? But as you understand, we delete the be verb here. Instead of saying are you okay, are you right, we delete the are and we say you okay, you're right. Your intonation is very important here. But be careful that don't use this you okay and you're right questions in America, because if you ask them you're right, they say, oh, what do you mean? Do I look sad? Maybe they get you wrong. I mentioned about the intonation. So when you want to say you okay, you're right. When you see a friend that he or she looks sad, or you know something's bad happened, it's not a normal day, the way you ask you okay and you're right is very important. The intonation. For example, now you see your friend and you know she's sad. You were right? Or you okay? So when you see your friend that they look sad, you can say, what's up? What's the matter? I just want to mention something that we never say, what's your problem? It's not friendly and it doesn't show that you care about him or her. So never say, what's your problem? Now, let's move to answer. So, instead of saying, how are you? What can you say? How is it going? How are you doing? Then, please, don't say, I'm fine, thank you, and you. So, in Britain, it's very common if you start your answer with yeah. Yeah, good. You? Yeah, I'm good. I'm great. I'm pretty good. Doing well. Doing great. So, as I mentioned, it's very common in Britain if you start to say, yeah, good, you, yeah, I'm good, I'm great, I'm pretty good, doing well, doing great. When you ask question for greeting in England, as I mentioned before, you okay? You alright? There is one more answer you can say. You alright? I'm alright. You okay? So, this is the way that they say hello, how are you in England. When you are British, you know that you don't show your feeling even if you are so happy, wonderful, great, oh, amazing, or you are very sad about something. So in the case that we talked about it before, you are sad and someone asks you, you okay? In this case, you don't start with, yeah, you should start with, well, a bit tired, a bit happy. This a bit comes every time because we are British, we don't show our emotions. A bit ill. So, when you're sad and someone asks you, what's up? You can say, well, a bit tired, a bit ill, well, a bit sleepy. Do you remember I told you that when you look so sad, your friend asks you, what's up or what's the matter? If something's really bad happened to you, so you don't say just a bit sad or a bit tired. In this case, if you want to show that how do you feel about the situation, you can say, I've been better. I've seen better days. Now, let's take a look at this sentence. Maybe you can't understand first, but when someone asks you what's up or what's the matter and you're not very happy or you're really sad, you can mix these words and you can use them. Not doing so great or not that well, not doing that great, or just not so well, not so great. Now, could you please tell me how are you doing?